appreciated.
Goodbye.
Don't be a stranger.
Hello.
Bye. Welcome.
So you're telling me Alexander the Great left his 3 daughters here to rule the forests as singing warrior sisters? Who'd have guessed? The question isn't who I am, not anymore. It's who we are, the wagon and I. He is a vessel of the Vantose. He belongs to the forest spirits, and he walks, well, rolls, I suppose, around as a repository of knowledge of history and ancient languages. A 4-wheeled Wikipedia, edited by actual fairies. Everything the forest spirits ever knew is in there. I was chosen to be his companion, to be his conduit to the world. We complement each other. Even though we've only been together a few years, it's hard to imagine my life without him. I don't know how I was chosen, or why. All I know is that I was drifting until I found him. And then everything just made sense. He's my soulmate. It's a nice feeling. The forest is the secret world at its purest. Here, the walls between the known and the unknown, between myth and the mundane, between science and magic, are thin enough to see through. There's been a truce in place here, between humans and the fairy for centuries. A symbiosis, an understanding of mutual respect. The Fae folk keep to the shadows of the forest, and in return their human neighbors have given them what they need the most. Faith. They believe in them, and they keep the myths and legends, the songs and stories, alive from generation to generation. And now, that balance, that truce, is in danger of crumbling completely. The only, person I talk to regularly is my wagon. Well, to call him mine would be a gross exaggeration. He's his own man. Life as his partner can be a bit lonely at times. After all, a single woman living alone in the woods, engaged in conversations with a wagon, let's just say it's been a while since I had a date. But while it may get a bit lonely, it's never boring. You should hear some of his stories. With everything I've seen, he still manages to surprise me. Goddess almighty! You scared me half to death. Oh, shut up. You know I have good reason to be worried with what's out there. The forest is a dangerous place for humans. It was one of the last refuges of the Fae folk. When the human world wanted no more of them, they came here to be left alone. But the vampires don't respect the truce between the fairies and the outside world, and it's caused no end of trouble. The weaker ones are hunted and killed by the Vampire Queen's footmen. The stronger ones? The stronger ones, they're the ones who concern me. Instead of simply striking back at the vampires, they're killing, indiscriminately. The Fata Paduri. They are many, and they are mad. Mamu Paduri was always a bit mad, mind you, but she kept to her part of the forest. Now... Goddess, be kind! You can't just run off like that to fight her and her brood. It's their forest, and she's tricksy. The music attracts Mamu Paduri. It's her weakness, and it'll draw her out of her lair. Try to understand. She's like a wild animal that's been hurt. She's not accountable for her actions. That doesn't excuse it, but... Please try to understand what it is made her this way, before you put a stop to her. Watch where you're stepping. There are precious plants here you can't even see with the naked eye. We've got wolf's blood and king's foil, moly and raskovnik. There's even... What do you have? Come on, let's see it. It's got him curious and me doubly so. I didn't take you for a prophecist. You don't look the part. Besides, this is not so much a prophecy as it is... I knew he brought me here for a reason. And not just to read the palms of those gypsies. Sorry, the Draculesti. They're fiercely proud, and this tells their story. It's interesting. And what I find the most interesting is what it doesn't say. All right, I'm not forgetting about you. Quite. I guess that's why we're here also. Always a good reason, never immediately obvious. I'd say this one is pretty clear, however. She who once loved and fell will rise again. The hand that held her heart will prove her bane. Well, clear-ish, as these things go. There's plenty of references to the three. The owl, the eagle, and the dragon. The three warriors stood bravely together in war. By oath, they were bound to the 60 and 4. The owl I reckon you're familiar with. I know nothing about the eagle, but the third. The dragon, Vlad Dracula himself, is past due to be brought back from the Apasambetai, from beyond death. Ought to be interesting seeing what history is made of him. In my trade, you quickly learn to distrust historians. What I do know is that he famously fought his lover-turned-vampire Mara, but he was unable or unwilling to destroy her completely. Love. Such a lamentable thing. I've learned to stay far away. We do know that Mara is back and in charge of a vast army of vampires, though her true purpose lies somewhere in the mountains beyond our understanding. And he who held her heart, Dracula, is the only one who can banish her again. Apa Vie and Apa Moarta, the water of life and the water of death, two halves of a circle to be mixed with Apa Sambete. I can only assume they'll trigger a chemical reaction of sorts to bring back his life force from the world ocean where it's been floating for all these years. Like a seed. It's almost like working with my flowers, making something grow and bloom from almost nothing. Apa Vie, the light of the morning, Apa Moarta, the final forewarning, joined at his tomb to bring the dragon to life, so that he may put an end to his bitch of a wife. I'm paraphrasing, of course.